Virtue by George Herbert. Which literary group does George Herbert associate? A. Metaphysical poets. B. Democratic poets. C. Graveyard poets. D. Fireside poets. And the correct option will be option A. Metaphysical poets. Second question. When did the poem Virtue publish? A. 1535. B. 1536. C. 1633. D. 1636. And the correct answer will be C. 1633. Next question. The poem Virtue was published in The Temple, Hearts is, The Complete Poetry, none of these. And the correct option will be option A, The Temple. 4. The poem Virtue begins with the line, Sweet rose, whose hue angry and brave. Sweet is spring, full of sweet days and roses. Only a sweet and virtuous soul. Sweet day, so cool, so calm, so bright. We know that the poem Virtue begins with the line, option number D, sweet day, so cool, so calm, so bright. Next, the rhyme scheme used in the poem ABAB, AABB, ABBA, ABBB. So the correct option will be option number A, ABAB. The poem was written on iambic tetrameter, iambic pentameter, iambic hexameter, all of the above. So the correct option will be iambic tetrameter. 7. Last line of each stanza was written on iambic pentameter, iambic tetrameter, iambic hexameter, and iambic diameter. And the correct option will be iambic diameter. 8. Which literary device is used in the following line? Sweet day, so cool, so calm, so bright. Metaphor, personification, alliteration, and epigram. So the correct option will be alliteration because the consonant sound as repeated in the sentence. 9. The line, the dew shall weep thy fall tonight, used figure of speech. Which figure of speech is used in this line? A. Epigram, B. Personification, C. Metaphor, D. Anticlimax. We can see that here personification is used because the dew is weeping. Okay, so dew is not a living thing, and here this non-living thing has given some property of living creatures. That's why we can say it is a kind of personification. 10. What is the significance of the poem's title Virtue? It refers to a character's name in the poem. It symbolizes the pursuit of moral excellence. It represents the passage of time. It alludes to a specific place in the poem. So, the what is the meaning of the title of the poem? And it is the symbolization, the pursuit of moral excellence. In the poem, what does the ship symbolize? A soul's journey through life, a physical vessel on the sea, the time of passage of time, the inevitability of death. And the correct option will be the soul's journey through life. Next, what does the word bait represent in the poem? A trap set by sin, a delicious meal, a religious ritual, a symbol of wealth and success. And the correct answer will be a trap set by sin. 13. What is the poet's message regarding the pursuit of virtue in Virtue? Virtue is unattainable and not worth pursuing. Virtue should be pursued diligently and is the path to salvation. Virtue is fleeting concept and one should focus on material pursuit. Virtue is the subjective notion that varies from person to person. So only correct option will be option number B. Virtue should be pursued diligently and is the path to salvation. 14. What is the significance of the mirror in the poem? It represents vanity and self-obsession. It reflects the beauty of the natural world. It symbolizes the passage of time. It signifies a divine presence. So the correct option will be it signifies a divine presence. 15. What is the central conflict or dilemma faced by the speaker in virtue? Choosing between two potential lovers, navigating a treacherous sea voyage, deciding whether to pursue earthly pleasure or spiritual virtue, resisting resisting the temptation to sin. And the correct option will be deciding whether to pursue earthly pleasure or spiritual virtue. 16. In the poem, what is the ultimate reward for those who choose the path of uh, virtue? A. Material wealth and success. B. Eternal salvation and union with God, fame and recognition. D. Worldly pleasures and indulgence. And the correct option will be eternal salvation and union with God. How does the speaker view the concept of time in virtue? Time is an unimportant factor in life's journey. Time is the enemy that prevents the achievements of virtue. Time is a friend that helps one grow in virtue. Time is an illusion and should be ignored. So, only correct option will be option number B. Time is an enemy that prevents the achievements of virtue. Next, what is the primary emotion conveyed by the speaker in virtue? Joy, anger, sadness, and indifference. We know that the poem was written in the melancholic mode, so it is an example of sadness. 19. What does the what star represent in the poem? A celestial body in the night sky, a guiding light or symbol of hope, a sinful temptation, an obstacle on the path of virtue. So the correct answer will be a guiding light or symbol of hope. 20. What does the poem suggest about the nature of human choices and free will? Humans are inherently evil and have no choice but to sin. Humans are predestined to follow a specific path in life. Humans have the capacity to choose between virtue and temptation. Human choices have no impact on their spiritual journey. So the correct option will be option number C. Humans have the capacity to choose between virtue and temptation. 21st. In virtue, what does the phrase the golden hook symbolize? An opportunity for worldly success, a divine intervention, a temptation or lure towards sin, a symbol of virtue's strength. And the correct option will be a temptation or lure uh, towards sin. 22. What is the role of the angel in the poem? The angel represents a divine messenger guiding the speaker. The angel signifies the speaker's inner conflict and doubts. The angel is a metaphor for a fallen soul. The angel represents a destruction from the path of virtue. So the correct option will be the angel represents a divine messenger guiding the speaker. What does the poem suggest about the relationship between virtue and time? A. Virtue is timeless and unaffected by the passage of time. B. Virtue requires one to ignore the constraints of time. Virtue is elusive and fleeting, like the sands of time. Virtue can only be achieved through patience and the passage of time. So the correct answer will be virtue can be only achieved uh, through patience and the passage of time. What is the significance of the fisher's hook in the poem Virtue? It represents the poet's desire for fame and recognition. It symbolizes the poet's intention to deceive the reader. It symbolizes a tool used by the virtuous to catch worldly pleasures. It represents the divine lure of virtue which can transform the soul. And the correct answer will be option number D. It represents the divine lure of virtue which can transform the soul. How does the poem characterize the pursuit of virtue in contrast to the pursuit of worldly pleasures? Virtue is an effortless path, while worldly pleasures require great effort. Virtue is a path of suffering, while worldly pleasures are easy to attain. Virtue requires inner strength and patience, while worldly pleasures are fleeting. Virtue and worldly pleasures are equal attainable. So the correct answer will be C. Virtue requires inner strength, patience, while worldly pleasures are fleeting. 26. What role does the cloak of honor play in the poem Virtue? It symbolizes a disguise worn by the speaker to hide their true intention. It represents a reward for virtuous action. It signifies the burden of societal expectation. It is a metaphor for the passage of time. So the correct answer will be B. It represents a reward for virtuous action. 27. In Virtue, what is the primary conflict that the speaker grapples with? The choice between two potential lovers, the struggle to maintain physical health, the conflict between materialism and spirituality, the battle against external enemies. So the correct answer will be the conflict between materialism and spirituality. 28. What does the phrase smell of musk represent in the poem? A. Pleasant fragrance, a symbol of earthly pleasures, a metaphor for fleeting beauty, a divine presence. So the correct answer will be a symbol of earthly pleasures. 29. In Virtue, what does the phrase pearl in a foul oyster symbolize? The inherent value of virtue when, even in difficult circumstances, the futility of pursuing virtue, the worthlessness of earthly desires, the imperfection of the soul. The correct answer, the inherent value of virtue even in the difficult circumstances. Last question. What is the final message or conclusion of the poem? Virtue is an unattainable idea, ideal. The pursuit of worldly pleasures is more rewarding than the pursuit of virtue. Virtue requires patience, perseverance, but leads to ultimate fulfillment. The speaker ultimately surrenders to temptation. And the correct option will be virtue requires patience and perseverance but leads to ultimate fulfillment. Thank you.